Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to VidaneTV. Showtime. Paul Strickland Jr. down here in the production truck, pushing all the buttons, yelling into the microphone, and calling some racing action here for the Easy Clean Super Late Model Series, race number 3 here at Lanier Speedway, presented by Tolco Electric. Great to have you here with us. Just getting wrapped up with qualifying. Just a few moments to go here for these drivers to get their quick times in and find out where they're going to be starting. Looks like 22, 23 drivers or so making the call here tonight. 125 laps on the docket. Taking a quick and ferocious look here at the point standings coming into the night. Ryan Messer on top with his win at the first race of the season and at Hickory rather, and a 6th place last week. He's on top by 2 points over Ashton Tucker, who has himself a pair of 3rd place finishes to get in the 2nd place in point. Tanton Woldridge in 3rd place after last week's win. Craig Tully with a pair of 4ths. He's going to be in 4th place in points. And the 5th spot's going to be Dylan Black. He's got himself a pair of 8th place finishes to kick things off here. Race number 3 of 7 on the go here tonight, and we are getting them lined up on that front straightaway, and we're going to be getting ready here, folks, for 125 laps, and they are going to go quick. Taking a look at these qualifying times for these drivers here as they're getting out there for their final warm-up here at this point, but they're running about 12 and a half, 13-second lap times around this racetrack, so this is going to go absolutely quick. Giving everybody an opportunity to get the final tweaks into the old sim rig. Make sure the steering wheel is tight onto the desk and the pedals aren't going to slip and slide around on the floor. Make sure everything's good to go for 125 laps here tonight, and it is going to go, we made mention, it's going to go super quick here in the Easy Clean Super Late Model Series. Race number 3 of the 7-race series, and it's going to be kicking us pretty much all the way through the winter here on Monday nights on VidaneTV. And we've got lots of racing action coming up the rest of the week here as well. Some exciting news heading on down to Florida here in a couple of weeks' time. So we'll have some reprogramming or rescheduling. Not much rescheduling. Rather quiet week that we'll be down there on VidaneTV here. But it's going to be a lot of fun checking out the U.S. Legends Tour, kicking things off at Winter Nationals. That's going to be a lot of fun. And it'll be an opportunity for us once again here at VidaneTV to kind of bridge that gap between the sim racing and the real racing community here. And as you can see, these drivers are going to be racing into the sunset lights starting to kick on around this racetrack. That sun's setting in the background, and everybody getting an opportunity to get those final touches taken care of here on these super late models to kick things off. With 125 laps on the go here tonight at Lanier. Back at it once again here on a Monday night for the Easy Clean Super Late Model Series, race number 3 here at Lanier. 125 laps on the docket here this evening. Taking a look at the starting lineup. Noel Fougere in that number 36 car with a 12.91 second lap time around this place. This is going to go super quick, folks. Blistering lap time for that number 36 car. Starting on the pole, Craig Tully in the 50 car, the Tolco Electric ride on the outside. Tan Woldridge and Chris Roma going to be in row number 2. Ashton Tucker has himself a pair of third place finishes, holding on to one of the top spots up in the points. Talked about that just a little bit ago. We'll revisit that here momentarily. There you see Corey Hall, and Scott Negus there in 7th and 8th. Jake Goodwin, Wade Craswell rounding out the top 10. Dylan Black, Conrad Murphy going to be the 11th and 12th place starter. Hit the old turn the page button and see the rest of the field. There's Travis Rowan, Danny Finch in 13th and 14th. Taylor Lane, Dave Cassidy rounding out the top 16. Brett Suggs in the 33 car back in the 17th position. Eric Hicks, John Byron, and Ryan Messer rounding out the top 20. Mike Rhino, Roger Down, and Mark Williams going to be the 23 drivers taking the green flag here tonight. We made mention once or twice. 125 laps here on the docket, presented by Tolco Electric. Great to have you here with us. We're some Easy Clean Super Late Model Series action. Race number 3 of the 7-race season, and we are getting ready to go. Once these pace car driver decides to take that left-hand turn down to the safety of pit road, you can already see we're lined up 2 by 2 all the way through. There goes the pace car down to the safety of pit road. Green flag flies, and we're racing here at Lanier. Quick caution flag here on lap number 1 to kick things off. Scott Negus looks to be involved in this one. We'll take a seat at the EASYKLEEN Racing Designs Instant Replay. Well, there's a handful of drivers involved in this one. Great big pile up here as we cross the start-finish line. So we'll back that up real quick. Take a look at it from the EASYKLEEN Racing Designs Instant Replay blimp. And there you see the 83 down on the bottom side. Everything else looks good. 55 car looks to have missed a gear. Craswell in the 67 gets into the back of him, and there you see a handful of other cars involved. Conrad Murphy, Danny Fitch, the 19 car is there as well. There's Ryan Messer in the 1 car. He's your points leader coming into tonight. The 13 car getting a little bit of the action there as well. So all ready to kick things off. Quite a few cars with some damage there in the back of the pack. Dan Woldridge, Danny Fitch, and Taylor Layton in that 27 car all going to come down pit road and try and get themselves some early repairs to get this thing kicked off. That's not the greatest spot to be in a 125 lap race down on pit road with repairs or damage, as it were, on lap number 3. Got to thank everybody for tuning in once again here Monday night, kicking things off here for us on VidaneTV. Little Easy Clean Super Late Model Series action. Be sure to shoot on over to their page on Facebook. Give them a like, a subscribe, a share. Do the same thing with us as well. The VidaneTV on social media. We're all over the place. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitch, we're on Twitter, we're on TikTok. Trying to get TikTok up to 1,000 followers so we can go live over on that platform and give the fans what they want. That's behind the scenes here at VidaneTV HQ. We need 1,000 followers before we can go live on TikTok. So, got to get those likes, got to get the follows, got to get all that good stuff. Let your friends and family know you're watching a little bit of iRacing action here on a Monday night. And we are, in fact, removed from the Royal Rumble. Freddie Bannister tuning in over on Facebook, and it was definitely an interesting Rumble for sure. Cody Rhodes coming home with the victory. Spoiler alert. Very cool. See that hasn't happened in 26, 25 years, and I picked the winner. So how cool is that? Green flag flying once again. We're going to give it another shot here at Lanier. Noel Fougere pulls away just a little bit. Craig Tully holding on to the 2nd position. Those guys getting it down. A little bit of side-by-side in behind them, though. Chris Roman down on the bottom side. He's able to break away from the clear. There's the double zero car. That's Ashton Tucker down. Oh, Ashton Tucker's in the 0-0. The double zero is Casey Tubbs down on the bottom side of the racetrack. There's the 83 of Corey Hall. Jake Goodwin in the mix. Travis Roma, Dylan Black, and Wade Craswell the top 10 as they run. And you can already tell these drivers trying to get down to the bottom side of the racetrack to find where that grip is. Dripping up to the race to the middle groove and the high groove this early on may not be what the doctor ordered. Just a little side-by-side action for the 9th and 10th spot. Craswell down the bottom side, Dylan Black, the 08 car. Up in the middle groove, there's Brett Suggs in the 33 car. He's already gained 6 spots from the drop of the green flag. John Byron behind him in the 57 car. He's gained 7 spots. Mike Reynolds gained 8 spots in that 34 car. Moving on up, Mark Williams in the 9 car has moved up 8 spots as well. So some hard battling here. Mid-pack on back to see who's going to be the biggest gainer, the biggest mover of the race. Right now, they are all chasing, though, that number 36 car of Noel Fougier. Craig Tully right there in the tire tracks, about a half a car length back or so. Biden this time right now, making sure that he's got some tires that he can save for a little bit later on in the race. There's Chris Roma. He's got some breathing room in behind, but has a comfortable spot. The 00 car of Caden Tufts is there, and you can kind of see the front 10 or so cars have kind of single filed out, doing a little bit of conveyor belts action here around Lanier. We're able to really click off some lap times, so some very quick lap times, 12, 13 seconds throughout this one. And obviously, as we start to wear the tires a little bit more, we're going to lose some of that time on the racetrack. But you can see these guys getting around this place rather quickly in almost complete darkness as well. There you see a great shot of the sun finally setting behind the horizon line there, and that's going to very much change the way this racetrack handles, the way these super late models handle as well. These guys kind of spent the last hour, 2 hours or so qualifying, final warm-up, and practice all in sunlight. And as that sun sets, it's going to drop the racetrack just a couple of degrees, and that's one of the things that's really going to focus in, these drivers rather, are really going to have to focus in on, because not only do they have tires that can change as well, the race surface is dynamic, everything kind of changes in the iRacing surface now. So it's one of those things, or multiple things that these drivers are going to have to keep an eye on, and keep an ear to the ground throughout this one, and try to keep up with kind of how their driving style evolves throughout this race, keeping up with everybody else, keeping up with the changing environment, the changing racetrack, the changing weather, the changing car, tires, rubber compound, build-up, all that stuff. And there's a lot really these drivers have to worry about in the sim race. That's why this guy's up here in the production booth, just pushing all these buttons, yelling into a microphone, and talking a really good game about it. How about a little free wide action for Ryan Messer down on the bottom side, Byron the 57 in the middle groove, with Danny Bitch in the 29 car all the way up on the high side. They get it sorted out. They're back to super file, and Messer down to the bottom side. Bitch up in that middle groove, almost stuck in that 29 car. We've seen that happen a time or two over the past couple of weeks with these short track racing here with the super late models as well as the late model stocks. If you end up getting stuck in that middle groove up on the high side, it's a lot of trouble to try and get back down to the bottom of the racetrack to make sure that you don't lose any more of those positions. Right now, Danny Bitch having an excellent time trying to get down on that bottom side. The 13 going to shoot up and try and get a little bit of draft off the back of the 29 car, but you can see going to tuck right in behind Mike Rhino in that 34 car to try and follow him on through on the bottom side. Battle up front still, the same Craig Tully a little bit closer to that bumper. Noel Fougier, Chris Roma lurking there in the third position. Caden Tufts, Corey Hall, currently the top 5 as they run less than 100 laps to go already here at Lanier. We're lap number 27. Make sure to give us the likes, the subscribes, the shares, the follows, all that good stuff on the YouTube, on the Facebook, on the Twitter and Twitch. It helps us out and it helps out with the algorithm. It lets everybody out there know that we've got some iRacing action just about every night of the week throughout these cold winter months. A little bit lighter here in the next couple of weeks. Got myself a trip to south or western Florida here coming up. Some real racing TV stuff. Lots of cool things going on in the real racing. Getting things kicked off here for the 2024 season, and we're going to have more on that over on our socials, especially over on the VidaneTV Facebook page. So you see a little 2x2 action there for 4th and 5th. Corey Hall, Ashton Tucker going at it. They get it all sorted out. The 00 car, Caden Tufts gets up into the outside wall there, just a little bit straight. Some of that black paint off the right-hand side of the car. Take a look at those brake rotors on these cars, front and back, are full cherry red all the way around, and it seems like like everybody having that same exact problem. So really getting some quick time, quick speeds here. But quick speeds means you really got to be hard on the brakes, hard on the equipment, and you got to make sure that everything, in fact, is going to hold up. So we will keep an eye on that for sure. And once we get one of these long green flag runs like it appears we're getting now, where these drivers are all kind of clicking off lap times and really putting the method into the match, that's going to be when you start to have some of those equipment failures during the race, or tire failures, or whatever it may be. It could really be anything with these iRacing cars, as you have real problems with the real race cars. Sometimes you've got problems with the sim rigs as well. Power failures, electrical failures. Something could break on the car, something could break inside the setup. Lots of different things that could go wrong, and that's all different things that these drivers have to focus on. Oh, by the way, there's 22 other drivers out on the track, and you've only got 125 laps to sort it out. So tall order on deck here for these drivers. Right now, they all seem to be chasing down that 36 car of Fujier. Getting a little bit closer is Craig Tully. You can see all over the back bumper of Chris Roma tightening up that battle for second as well. So a little bit of lap traffic up in front at the first lap, number 37. Fujier leads it here at Lanier. Side of the racetrack going one lap down. You can see there's some damage on the right front of that car. These drivers going to get down and around no problem here with the leaders. Noah Fujier going to pull away by just a car length, maybe two, over Craig Tully. Chris Roma about where he was, but looking at the time going Caden Tuff start moving forward in a big way. We saw him just a few laps ago get up on the outside wall there coming out of turn number 4. Doesn't seem like it affected the handling of that car too much. As you can see, he's still holding off that fifth place car of Corey Hall. Ashton Tucker, the 0-2 car, has dropped outside of the top 5 for the first time tonight. In the 7th spot, Travis Romo, Brett Suggs, and Ryan Messer going to round out the top 10. Looking at the timing and scoring once again, Ryan Messer in that number 1 car. He's up 10 spots, started at 20th, running P10 right now. And you can bet he's got points rating racing in his mind. He came into tonight as the points leader. After winning at Hickory on the podium last week, you can see just really able to get up to the back bumper of Brett Suggs and kind of hold on. We saw these guys kind of battle it out a few weeks ago here on VidaneTV. Always great to see those guys do a little side-by-side racing, and we get that here on a Monday night as well. 145 laps on the docket, 46 of them down, and Fujier still holding on to that lead. I believe that 36 car has led all of the laps so far since we dropped this green flag. Craig Tully hasn't gone anywhere other than second. That 50 car very, very quick. Chris Roma, Caden Tuff, and Corey Hall top 5 as they run. Down up towards the front, you can see a little conveyor belt action going on throughout here. Travis Roma finding himself in the trouble. About we stay green, gather it back up, and a little bit of lap traffic here for Noah Fujier as he gets on through it. Everything looking a-okay so far. And this is going to be one of those deals where we start to see these drivers maybe slow down just a little bit, start to really get into the rhythm and really work with those cars, find out is in tune with where everybody else is going. You can see Tully kind of going a little bit lower than Boucher in that set of corners by about a half a car length. So trying to look around the racetrack to see if he can find a little bit more grip, maybe get a little bit of extra air on the nose of that super late model to try and get himself a little bit of momentum to try and get around that 36 car. Because right now, Knowles Boucher has his place figured out. He's got a little combination of that and having that clean air on the car. He's able to really set that thing up and make it do exactly what he needs it to. But the second caution flag going to fly here for the, I believe, 55 car. We will double check on that, but the second caution flag is going to fly here on lap 56. Is pointed in the wrong direction. See if we can back that up just a skosh more and find out what went on there. And it looked like it might have been a couple of drivers going for, pardon me, for the same piece of real estate. And you can tell you the pit road is a hot commodity right now, as it looks like all of the lead lap cars are on their way down there. There you see the 55 checking up just a little bit. The 19 gets into the back bumper, sends him on around. Vitch into the 19 gets him around. But you can see everybody gets by unscathed, so that could have been a whole lot worse than it was. Noah Fougere in the 36 car down on pit road. Noah Fougere, Corey Hall, the first one off pit road. Looks like 2 tires on that stop. Nope, may have stayed out in that 83 car. Craig Tully down on pit road as well. There you can see, ooh, big damage for the 27 car. He's going to come in and hit the tires at the entry of pit road. Fougere is down and away. It looks like 2 tires. Looks like a 4-tire stop for the 50, and this is going to get, this is Calamity Corner right here, the entry and exit of pit road. That's going to be a whole lot of fun. We're going to let them go around the racetrack once or twice so we can get timing and scoring to figure out where everybody's at, because there you can see the pace car as well. That's tough. That's a tough pit road to trying to get down and around. Right now, it looks like Corey Hall is being scored as the leader, but once again, we'll get... We'll let timing and scoring get that all sorted out and figure out who is where. You can see the lights still on the iRacing Mustang pace car. So going to give everybody an opportunity to get back onto the same pit strategy as well as tires and all that good stuff. And we're super close. We're about 15 laps from the halfway marker here as well. So you got to wonder if this is going to be indeed the final stop of the night. Lights are off on the iRacing pace car. Corey Hall indeed going to stay out, take over the lead. Noah Fougere going to slide up to second for the first time here tonight. Chris Roma, Caden Tubbs, Greg Tully, the top 5 as we get the restart. Crossing the stripe for lap number 61. The green flag racing once again here at Lanier. You can already see 2 major groups trying to push themselves up onto the racetrack. The first and the second, they're still 2x2 up in the front of the racetrack, side by side for the lead. Fougere with the fresh tires. Corey Hall down the bottom side, trying to hang on, doing well right now, but really needs to get some clean air and get himself a little bit of a cushion so he can try and hold on to the lead at least for 10, 15 laps. Give these drivers an opportunity for those tires to kind of get themselves evened out, to lose that advantage. Look at those bright red brake fluids here. 36 as well. Still side by side for the lead. 36 up on the high side, trying to make it work with those fresh tires, but the grip is down the bottom side of the racetrack, and I think Paul knew that in the 83 car. You can see he's going to pull away just a little bit, has just enough room to try and potentially slide on up in front of that 36 car, but not quite enough. There he is, slides on up, going to try and block both lines now here at this point. Tall order in on deck for Corey Hall, but he's going to see what he can do and hold these guys off on old tires. Out there, you see that 36 car of Fougere stuck in that middle of the high group we talked about earlier on. The 50 car is totally going to get down and around. Chris Roma has already passed on by that 36 car. Now you can see 33 of Red Suggs moving his halfway into the top 10. He's going to play in the top 4 as he's going to get around that 36 car of here side by side as they work onto it. James Duff's in behind there as well. That number 0 car running in the 6th position up in that middle group. Jake Goodwin, Travis Roma, Ashton Tucker, and Ryan Messer in the top 10 as they run just a few laps shy of the halfway marker. You can see we've got racing all the way around the racetrack. Front 4, front 5 or so have got it figured out. They are all single file running laps right now, some conveyor belt action as it were. The second half of the top 10 is wild. There you see a big slide there for the black and green number 38 car. It's going to be Travis Roma, a little 3 wide action for the time being. How about a little more 3 wide action? The double 0 Cage Stubbs coming down in the middle groove. Ryan Messer all the way down on the bottom side. Messer's going to take both of those spots. Slide that 1 car up into the 8th position and qualifying outside the top 20 as the points leader here tonight. That Messer machine is on the move. He's going to try and bring the 28 car of Tanner Woolridge there with him as well. He's down the bottom side of the racetrack trying to follow the one on through these positions down the bottom side. You can see the 38 Aroma getting up into the outside wall just a little bit, giving it a little bit of a straight action. It's going to come back down and kind of tuck back in behind Woolridge in that 28 car. They get it all sorted out. They're still side by side in front of Ryan Messer. Jake Goodwin up in the mix as well. The 28 Woolridge, he's going to come down and say hello. And as we follow along, that 1 car picks off yet another position. Ryan Messer moves himself into 7th as we just passed the halfway. Ashton Tucker goes away from this group just a little bit. You can see he's got his sights set now on the 36 car. Former race leader currently in at the 5th position. It's all over the back bumper of Brett Suggs as they try and get themselves up. A little trouble for the 13 car. Everything's A-OK, going in the right direction. For Dave Cassidy can hold on to it. Craig Tully in the 50 car back up towards the front. He is holding on to that 3rd position, and they're still chasing down Corey Hall on those old tires. That 83 car really able to hold on to it. You can see they're going to put the 9 car on another lap down. Mark Williams struggling with the handling of that number 9 car. Corey Hall, though, has this thing figured out. You can see he's got a little bit of a gap over Chris Roma. He can definitely tell, though, that Roma's got quicker tires. He's got better tires. You can see the 83 kind of drifts off the racetrack a little bit earlier than the 83 does. But then Chris Roma does, rather, getting around this racetrack. So Corey Hall trying to hold on to it here. He's got that set of tires down on pit road. We'll see if he comes down here under green flag. I don't think that's something you want to try and do here at Lanier. It's super hard to pass here as Roma takes a peek down on the bottom side to see if there's anything there. Needs to try and get that 83 car to push just a little bit. There you see, gets the door opened up. That 83 going to slide on down underneath the other 83 car. How about it? Roma going to try and hold on all the way down to the bottom side. Big push there, or big wiggle for Chris Roma. Going to slide on back, dive on down underneath the quarter panel there of Corey Hall. Nothing quite there. Tucks into the tire tracks for the time being. He's going to try and re-rack and restack. And you can see Corey Hall really struggling on these older tires. He knows that the guys behind him are coming in a hurry as the caution flies. This might be exactly what Corey Hall was looking for here, and we'll see if we can find out exactly what went down to bring out caution flag number 3 here on the sifting through the tapes, not able to see what brought out the caution. But what we can tell you is Corey Hall is absolutely going to give up that track position and come get some tires on that 83 car. There you can see one of very few drivers that have come down pit road from the lead lap. Jake Goodwin going to come down to get some tires and service in the 24 car. John Byron in the 57 car going to come down here as well. And that's going to hand the lead back over to Chris Roma. Brett Suggs all the way up into 2nd now. 13 spots gained on the evening. Craig Tully there to 3rd. Tan Woolridge and Noel Fugier the top 5 as they run. Ashton Tucker, Ryan Messer, Travis Roma, Caden Tufts, and Jake Goodwin going to be the top 10. Prov 2 crank it up action. Listening to what these virtual super late models sound like here in the iRacing world. Brett Suggs taking over the lead in that 33 car. He is on fire, qualifying outside of the top 20. Currently leading here on lap number 95. Getting down to the nitty gritty. We've taken the pit strategy out of it at this point. Everybody on relatively equal tires. Everybody's got enough fuel to make it to the end. And you can see they're all going to be chasing down Brett Suggs in that 33 car. He's got himself a whole bunch of wins in this RBR Maritime Series, as well as here on VidaneTV. Second here, a few weeks back at Hickory. Didn't make the show last week, so they're going to try and even things out here with a victory. But Tanner Woolridge going to make it a little bit on the difficult side here as we come to 25 laps to go. Woolridge down on the bottom side, has the door opened up, and he is there. They are door handle to door handle as they get around this racetrack with 25 laps to go. That's Tanner Woolridge, last week's winner, third place in points coming into tonight by 5. That's right, 5 points under Ryan Messer. Messer back there in the 6th position. So you can absolutely bet we're only race 3 here in this 7-race season, but everybody looking at the point standings as we get into the halfway marker of this season. Woolridge starting to pull away just a little bit, 3.5 tenths of a second now over the 33 car of Brett Suggs. He's doing everything he can to try and hold off. You can see getting up to the outside wall just a little bit is Woolridge. Doesn't even look like, though, it slowed him down because you can see there's the gap now. Back to the 33 of Suggs, and it's even further on back to Roma, Tully, and Fougere. Fougere led almost all the laps in the first half of this race and beyond. With those pit stops, though, and with those couple of quick cautions, we got it all jumbled up. And now we've got the 28 car of Woolridge on top, and he is pulling away. Can't even say he's driving into the sunset because we're racing in darkness here at Lanier, but you can already tell that Suggs is doing everything he can to try and chase down the leader. It's got a full second gap between first and second, but Suggs doesn't have to worry too much about the rear view because there you can see the gap on back to third. Roma holding on to it for the time being. It's Chris Roma there in third. Fougere, Craig Tully doing a little bit of battling for that 5th position there as well. That's the gap all the way up to the leader. It's going to be a tall order to try and get up to that 28 car and then get around him. And you can see Fougere slide back just a little bit. Craig Tully going to try and get up and rattle his cage just a little bit of contact with the outside wall for the 33 car. Gathers it back up though, keeps on pointing in the right direction. There's a 9 car of Mark Williams, who's going down a lap. You can see all the way up to the outside part of the racetrack. Letting these leaders get down and around. 17 laps to go. You don't want to mess with the outcome of the race too much, especially if you're not on the same lap as these leaders. There's that 28 car crossing the start-finish line. 16 laps to go, and he's got all the time in the world. You can see a 1.5 seconds now. The gap on back to the 33 car of Suggs. Chris Roma there has a miracle of Noel Fougere, the 36, trying to move back up onto the podium. Craig Tully has a front row seat of that battle for 3rd and 4th, and he's got a little bit of breathing room in behind Ryan Messer. Messer holding on to the points lead, but for how long? Tanner Woolridge, 3rd in points, 5 points back, is up there leading this thing. Dylan Black back in the 08 car has a little bit of breathing room because he's got a side-by-side battle. See, that's well done. Behind him, between Travis Rome and Jake Goodwin. There you can see they're still side-by-side. 24 car down on the bottom side. Caden Tufts in the 00 still in this fight, rounding out the top 10. Mike Brown in that 34 car on the outside looking in. And Corey Holmes came down under that last set of caution laps. Got himself some tires and just hasn't really been able to drive through the field here. So really goes to show you the track position, definitely one of the key factors in this thing. And well, that's kind of a case proven. There you see the 28 car is just pulling away here at this point. 11 laps to go. 2.11, 1.2 seconds now over Brett Suggs and pulling away. That's not something we usually hear about that 33 car, but having a hell of a run there in that 28 car, pulling away. You can see not having any kind of issues with the lap traffic, able to get down and around. Fougere has gotten around Chris Roma. He's got his sights set now on that second place spot of Brett Suggs in the 33 car. Going to see what he can do. Oh, he's going to get up to the outside wall, scrape it just a little bit, add a little bit of that black and white paint, or a little bit of that blue and white paint, rather, up to that outside wall. Scott Negus having some issues in the 55 car, struggling with the handling on that thing all night long, but he's going to get it down to pit road and take it to the attention of his crew, see if he can get that thing worked on and back out on track. Meanwhile, up front, a little bit of lap traffic still. The 28 car, no issues, gets down and around, 7 laps to go, 6 when they get to the line. I-5 already up in the flag stand, 5 laps to go for Tanton Wooldridge, who now has himself a 3-second lead. You can see cutting through this lap traffic like a hot knife through butter. Everybody else seems to be struggling with that lap traffic just a little bit. You can see 316. What? 316 is the gap between first and second. Suggs holding on to second for right now, but Fougere is there with that 36 car. Wants to try and get up there, maybe give him a little bit of a boot scoot, take that second position away. He's going to dive all the way down to the bottom side of the racetrack to see if he can get that position away. Coming to the line, popsicle sticks, 2 laps to go for Tanton Wooldridge, who has driven away. He's gone 4 seconds out ahead of this battle. 4 seconds. Fougere all the way down to the bottom side, door handle to door handle with that number 36 of Brett Suggs. Going to take advantage here, getting into it. But Suggs is going to get the advantage coming off of the corner. Big time lap traffic up in front of our leader, though. For Tanton Wooldridge, I don't believe it's going to be too much of an issue. All he has to do is back up just a little bit. Going to give a wave to the crowd, take that checkered flag. Tanton Wooldridge going to come home with the win. Fougere in the 36 car, able to get down and around Brett Suggs, who's going to finish in third. Dylan Black going to finish in fourth. And Travis Roma going to round out the top 5. What a show, quick and dirty, here at Lanier. And we'll take a look at the unofficial results here once everybody gets across the stripe, and we're going to talk to our top 3 drivers here this evening as well. There you see the unofficial results as they cross the stripe. Tanton Wooldridge going to come home with the victory in the number 28 car. Noel Fougere going to slide on up into second. Brett Suggs going to finish in third. Dylan Black going to round out the top 4. Travis Roma going to round out the top 5. The boss man Craig Tully there in 6th. Jake Goodwin, Ryan Messer, Ashton Tucker, and Mike Rhino the top 10. Corey Hall, Chris Roma, Caden Tufts, Dave Cassidy, Wade Craswell the top 15. And there you see John Byron, Roger Downs, Scott Negus struggling with that 55 car just a little bit here this evening. Going to finish a couple laps down in the 18th spot. There you see Mark Williams, Derek Gates, Taylor Layton, Conrad Murphy, and Danny Vitch rounding out the field here tonight. What a heck of a show. Quick race done before the top of the hour, and we're going to talk to these drivers that finished up in the top 3 here momentarily. And may as well start. We'll start down on pit road. We'll see if we can catch up with the 33, or the driver rather, of the 33. That's going to be Brett Suggs coming home in at third. How many threes is that? Three threes. Lots of threes. Brett Suggs, talk to us, man. Great run here tonight.
Yeah, it was a pretty good run. Didn't have a chance to turn any laps in practice, so I wasn't really sure what the car was going to do. Our first lap was qualifying. And even in those 2 laps qualifying, man, I knew this thing was going to get pretty tight, and tight it did. It was like driving a school bus out there, but good charge though, coming from 17th. Not as impressive as Tanton coming from the tail end all the way back up to the front. I think twice. I think he did that 2 times in the race. So that was pretty epic to watch. He was definitely the car to beat, and super fast out there. So we were just trying to hang on for all we had. And I thought when we got that restart on the top side of Chris, I thought that was going to be it. I thought we were going to be able to just kind of pull away, but Tanton and Noel there, they had a lot left in the tank, and I think that made up all the difference.
Yeah, we saw with a handful of laps to go, right up with Tanton Wooldridge, but he started to drive off into the subset, and you in that 36 car, Noel Fougere, put on a hell of a show there the final 10 laps or so.
Yeah, Tanton was just on cruise control out front. Once he got around, he was lights out. And then Noel, I was doing everything I could to try to hold him off, but also keep it clean. And I know I was probably pinching harder than I would have liked to, but trying to battle for a runner-up spot and just came up a little bit short, but still a good effort overall.
Absolutely, and a good points night here tonight. Missed last week, but still looking pretty good so far with a couple of podiums here for the first three races. Who gets it done for you? Who gets you back and forth to the virtual racetrack?
Yeah, I want to thank everybody at JAM, TH Motorsports, Lake Norman Power Cleaning, North Creek Construction, LMI Task Pack, Brett Suggs Racing Marketing, McConey Setup Shop, all the guys that we hang out with. I was actually kind of a lone rider tonight. I wasn't in Discord, but we appreciate everybody tuning in to the twitch.tv/BrettSuggs33 stream as well, and hope to run it back again sometime.
Absolutely. Solid run here tonight, putting on a heck of a show here for us, like we appreciate here at VidaneTV. Congratulations, Brett.
Thank you.
I parked right next to him, going to be the driver. He battled it out for the last 10, 15 laps or so. Noel Fougere in the 36 car, led a bunch of laps earlier on here tonight, and came home with a solid podium finish. How we doing, Noel?
Doing well, Paul. How are you doing?
Not too bad. A little sweaty. That was an action-packed race there at the second half.
Yeah, that makes two of us. I know I had a shot coming into this thing. I like this track, and I put it on pole, which gave me a bit of confidence going in, and led a bunch of laps, which was good. And I was able to kind of save my tires a little bit, and then kind of got set back after that second caution. When Corey stayed out, I was stuck on the outside for a little bit, but was able to kind of hold on to my tires a little bit and get back on the inside and come back through to the front. It was a good race between coming from I think fifth or sixth to second there with Craig and Travis and Brett at the end there. It was really fun, really clean. So it was a good result overall. Glad I could get a podium. I haven't had the greatest performances the last two races. I ended up I wrecked Chris in the first race and I wrecked Scott last week. So it's good that I was able to come home with a clean run. Good win to Tanton again. I mean, he put on a clinic to start from last basically and come through to the win is pretty impressive. So good win to him. And yeah, overall just a pretty good race.
Absolutely. Entertaining race to say the very least, and a good points night as well here for the 36 car. And heading on in to next week, we'll give you the microphone. Anybody out there watching, who gets you to and from the virtual racetrack?
Yeah, I just want to thank my grandparents. They support me and watch me every weekend. So big thanks to them. Thanks to the Roma brothers and Craig for putting this on, and Brent Roy for doing race control. I know we're kind of a pain in the butt some weeks, so it's definitely nice to have someone competent like Brent Roy on race control for the rest of us. And thank you guys at Vidane for throwing on an awesome broadcast and letting people enjoy the races as much as we are.
Absolutely. And we're going to slide just a little bit further on down the front straightaway to victory lane. And we're going to talk to this guy for the second week in a row. Not the best first race of the season with the 11th place finish at Hickory, but hey, a pair of points paying wins here for the second and third race. That's going to bump you up the point standings quite a bit there, Tanton.
Yeah, that's good. I try not to look at points. I try to just kind of run each race and get the best result that I can. I've ran some of these seasons where I've been looking at the points and maybe kind of play a little bit conservative, maybe let a spot go so I didn't get wrecked. But at the end of the year, there's one year me and Brett tied for points. There's one year I think I finished one point back. So you just got to try and capitalize as much as you can every night because you never know when you're going to need that one point at the end of the year. So just trying to focus on each race, get the best result possible. And we didn't at Hickory. I made a mistake on that first lap, but other than that, these past two races have been really, really good, and hoping to continue that going forward.
A little perseverance goes a long way with the 56 camp again, winning last week at Slinger, winning again this week here at Lanier, and the points looking pretty good as we approach the halfway marker of this race. Or this season rather. We're at Oxford next week, next Monday night. Have you got anything for them?
I'm hoping so. Oxford is a place that I like, but I haven't had a great result there the past few times. I know that Chris Roma is really, really good there. I think he's won between this series and the TCM series 3 or 4 or maybe even more races there. He's really good at putting down a good time there, and then he's one of the best ones on here at tire saving. So He'll probably be the guy to beat next week if I had to be honest with you. Ryan Messer's been fast every single night in here. I think if he had a little bit better luck, he easily could have had 2 or 3 wins. So just a lot of good guys in here, and I'm gonna do what I can. I'm trying to get ready to go to Citrus, and that takes a lot of time trying to get ahead on schoolwork and just make sure that everything's ready to go. So probably won't get any practice or anything like that, but we'll be in the session for sure.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. It's going to be a hell of a show either way here on VidaneTV. But a great run here tonight. Got to give you the opportunity to thank anybody that's out there watching. Who gets you to and from the virtual racetrack?
Yeah, I've been thanking everybody that's helped me get to Citrus County Speedway. And one person that I haven't thanked, and I know they don't want to thank you, but I'm going to thank them anyways, is Maria, girlfriend Maria. She spent a lot of nights. Generally, we work on the car Saturday, and then she kind of gets dropped off at the shop. She doesn't have her license yet, so gets dropped off at the shop, and then we go back to my place for the night. And that's kind of the one day a week that I get to see her while I'm away at school. She spent a lot of those nights where she's waited an hour or 2 hours or so in the race shop waiting for me to finish up. So she gets a big thank you. Thanks to her mom, Janine, for driving her to the race shop every week. Again, all my sponsors, McKinnon Bros Service Center, um, Good Guys Auto Glass, Harrington Hilton, Cornwall Self Storage has upped their sponsorship to get us to Winter Nationals. Um, Obviously, all the guys that put on this series, Brent Roy for doing the race control. Nobody wants that job, yet he seems to do it really, really well. You for putting on these live streams. Craig Tully, Chris Roma, Travis Roma for kind of organizing everything. So thanks to all them. Thanks to everyone who ran clean. I mean, once again, I think we had a 125 lap race on a short bull ring, and we might have had 2 yellows or 3 yellows. So just everybody that gets us these Monday nights. And I guess one more person. I know I'm taking a while, but my roommates and my friends at university. So I've been here racing and racing on Monday nights, and I kind of told them, and somehow now they're tuned into the live streams every Monday night. I know Lane, Nick, the other Nick, they're all tuned in, and it kind of makes a cool vibe. They all watch. As soon as I won, they came in. We're all hyped up, hoot and holler, and probably get a noise complaint. So all of them as well. But yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. If there's any kind of complaints that we like here at VidaneTV, it's absolutely going to be noise complaints. Definitely room to scream about it, or reason to scream about it. Win number 2 on the season. Looking pretty good for the points here as well. We don't tell Tanton, though, because he said he didn't want to look at the points yet. But looking really, really good. We're going to be at Oxford next Monday night. We're going to be doing it live here on VidaneTV. Thank y'all so much for tuning in here tonight for tonight's coverage of the Super Late Models series here this evening at Lanier. We'll catch you on the flip side. When we do, we are going to be doing it live.